stolen generation is an issue which impacted tens of thousands of Aboriginal Australians. The idea of removing children was not uncommon. It had been happening for years on stations and reserves. Often white men and Aboriginal women, or white women and Aboriginal men, had unprotected sex. This was due to a policy that included assimilation and the half-caste children being trained to be servants for other white settlers. The plan was to eventually outbreed the Aboriginal people and provide free services to other white settlers. They used the excuse of it being for the good of the children. Other whites that were committed to the cause actually believed that they were doing nothing but good. They believed this because they thought by taking the children away from the bad influence of their parents or families, and to eventually force them into white society, where they would have a better life. Aboriginal children were removed since the Aboriginal Protection Board was set up in the 1880s. But the intensity was stepped up once the official assimilation policy was put in place in the 1950s. Aboriginal families and communities were extremely distraught when their children were stolen. Aboriginal women that were raped or gave birth to half-caste children especially felt terrible at the loss of their babies and usually didn't want to have sex with white men. Half-caste children were often gathered at churches in which they were forced to learn white customs, including speaking English, wearing different clothes, and embracing Christianity. When they grew up, they were sent to white settlers. The children weren't taught their traditional rituals and languages. This resulted some languages going extinct. Before the invasions, there were 1,000 to 3,000 Aboriginal languages and dialects that were spoken. Today, there are only 145 left, of which 110 are critically endangered. The stolen generation did not just impact the past, it also impacted the future. Today in Australia, there are still many Aboriginals that are racially abused and are still not accepted into white society. Often once children were stolen, they did not reunite with their parents again until they were 30 years old. This caused a loss of connections with their parents.
It's all I wanna do. all